Good morning, everybody, and here we are. Really exciting day. So if you remember, back in the spring we gave away a tree. We gave away a maple, a Jack Frost maple, I believe it was. And we'd never given away a tree before. And of course I can't be trusted with anything because I just give away as much as I can. And I was disappointed, to be honest. I was disappointed because I'm giving the person the tree, but I wanted to plant it. I want to be part of it. But we didn't have the proper setup and we were so busy. Anyway, we decided, settle down. Thank you. Wow.
Today's lesson is politeness.
So yeah, we didn't have time, and Randy and I discussed it at length. This year we decided, you know what? Like, let's get a microphone. Let's make sure this works. Let's give away a tree, and you know what? Let's go plant it, and that way we can actually show you guys. Drawings are great, explanations are great, but actually watching somebody do something and having a video as a reference, I believe, is significantly better. So please stay tuned, because we're also going to be giving away bulbs. And I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to plant tulips and daffodils, or tulips or daffodils, whatever you prefer. And we're going to do a giveaway on that as well. Next week we're talking about general cleanup and what to do. And then the week after that is bulbs. So keep your eye open for that. If you want to win some tulips, some daffodils, Mascari, hyacinth, there's so many out there. If you want to win a collection of bulbs and have some bulbs in your garden, absolutely. Maybe you don't want to win them for yourself. Maybe you want to win them for your mom or your grandma or your wife or whatever, your husband. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you want to win them for somebody else, let us know. We don't care where we plant them. As long as it's within Calgary, or if you're willing to pay airfare, Sydney, Australia, Brandy and I are willing to travel. That's what I'm getting to here. If you're in Sydney, Australia, and you're watching this and you want to win those bulbs, and you're willing to pay airfare, we're willing to plant. Just throwing it out there. So anyway, our lucky winner is a fantastic friend of ours called Pascal. I say friend, I literally only spoke to her for the very first time a couple of days ago to announce that she'd won, and she was over the moon. Congratulations, Pascal, and we'll be there tomorrow planting your tree. So let's discuss tree planting. Let's move into that. And how is it different planting a tree, and how is it the same planting a tree in the fall, in the autumn, as opposed to spring and summer? So as much as there are differences, and there are things you need to know, much stays the same. So one of the most important things to consider, and we've touched on a couple of times this week, is at this time of year, the light is changing. I think we've all noticed it's getting darker sooner out, sun's coming up a bit later, those days are getting shorter. So it really behooves you to know, prior to this, your lighting conditions. Because you don't want to assume an area is shady and then find out all through the, all through the spring and the summer that it's full sun. And you don't want to assume an area is brighter than it is and that kind of thing. So just really be aware that lighting, it might need a little bit more thought than, say, in the middle of June, July. So lighting is a consideration, but that's always going to be a consideration. So for the most part, when you buy a tree from a garden center like us, it comes in a pot, okay? And there you go, that's your standard tree. There's a blue spruce, we all know it, we all love it. He's prickly, he just stabbed me. And this guy here, I just wanted to find out what size that pot was. It's a 5-gallon pot, okay? So here's my yard, and I believe where we're planting Pascal's tree is in grass. So we'll put the grass in, like that. So what we're going to do, and this isn't the tree you're getting, Pascal, don't worry, this is the closest tree to me that I grabbed. So what we're going to do is we're going to look here, and we're going to measure our pot. doesn't have to be exact. We're not talking, we're not talking millimeters, we're not even talking inches. You want to get a rough measurement. You know what? That'll suffice. Put your foot down, handle of your shovel, something like that. You want a rough idea of how big that is, okay? So just for fun, we're going to call that 5, okay? You want to know the depth. Again, I don't care. Put your foot next to it, feel it on your leg. Shovel handle, measure like that, put your foot, whatever it takes. So you know what? We'll call that 7, okay? So what you want to do now is you want to dig your hole. Obviously, none of this is to scale because I'm not that good at art. Your hole wants to be 10, okay? And your depth wants to be 7, but we're going to go a little deeper. So when you first excavate your hole, okay, you're going to go deeper than 7. You might go to 10, you might go to 14, depends on how easy it is to dig. Maybe you hit a rock, I don't know. All of that soil that comes out, so now you've got a pile of soil sitting on your lawn, and you've got a hole. Get rid of the sod, you don't need it. Shake the grass off, that's garbage. Straight in your compost, okay? It's not garbage, it's compost. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this soil and you're going to add a compost to it. It can be sea soil, it can be the Annalita super compost, but you want to add a compost and you really want to mix that in. What you want to do here is you want to do about a 50-50 ratio or a 1/3, 2/3 ratio. The reason for that is if you go too much and you put in too much compost, these roots are like, oh my God, living is easy. There's nothing. This compost is loose. It's organic. It's rich. And they're growing and they're like, whoa, look at me, I'm growing. And then suddenly they hit the Calgary clay. Well, they haven't strengthened for that. And that Calgary clay is mixed with nothing. It's solid clay. And they are trying to force through it and they don't have the strength. You do a blend like this. Well, as they're growing, as they're adapting, they're hitting clay and they're getting the strength to get through it, but it's not all clay, so you're not impacting them. You're giving them some wiggle room. That's why you want to do a blend. I know people who take this soil and go, oh, it must be no good. No, it's fine. It's great. It's a heavy clay. It's going to hold water. It's going to hold your tree up. There's, hey, we got a wasp. How you doing, buddy? It's going to be great. It's going to hold everything up for you. But you don't want to put the straight clay in. Again, it's hard. Those new roots aren't going to like it. There's no nutrition in it. You don't want to do pure compost. So approximately this is what you want to do. Mix this soil up, then you throw it back in the hole, and you want to bring your hole back to the 7. Okay? So the depth of your tree here matches your soil. Not the pot, the actual soil. You want this flush with the existing soil. Okay? So boom, you've sat it in. Now you're going to take some more of your mixture and you're going to backfill in around. And you're going to put it down and you're going to push it in with your hands. What you're going to do, you're only going to come up, if that's 7, you're only going to come up, say, 2. Okay? And the reason for that is you just want to hold your tree. Now you're going to make sure it's straight. Okay? I see people plant trees, and of course this one is going to do it, like this. Okay? No bueno. You want your tree as straight as possible. So you eyeball it, and it can be difficult. You can have weeping trees, you can have trees with different shapes, all kinds of problems. You want your tree to be roughly straight, and that's why you've got the loose soil at the bottom, so you can kind of put your hands in, you can work that root ball and get it around, voila. Then you're going to take a product, and it's mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a fungus. It's a mycelium fungus. It's in a blue tub. I should have brought one, but I didn't. And it's Mike, with a Y. I don't know, sounds kind of pretentious to me, Mike. But anyway, and what this is, it's a mycelium fungus, and essentially, don't have enough time to go into things in the detail that I would like, but you rub it direct contact with the roots, and it forms a symbiotic relationship with the root, and it causes the roots to significantly grow. But it is not a fertilizer. It is not going to do a massive promotion of top growth. So it's still going to obey the rules. It's not like giving it a high nitrogen, which is going to promote leafy growth and it's going to put out new shoots. No, it's not. It's just going to allow those roots to establish. Then in the spring, it will keep going. So you want to put some nite, that's going to go directly on there. So now your tree is straight, you've got your nite, you've got your soil blend, everything is looking good, now you backfill. Just like when we talked about in the spring about doing a house plant. I see some people and they put the tree in and they are stomping the soil up. Give me a heart attack. Okay, we literally just talked about compacted soil and roots. Okay, firm but not compacted. Okay, and you really, really want to make sure that that's what you've got. You stop putting the heels down, your heel accidentally hits some of those edge roots, and it will. You're going to damage those roots. So you're damaging roots off the bat. You're literally taking this beautiful earth and you're compacting it to make the roots fight. You just want it firm. So as you fill the soil up, we've done 2 already, we know that that's firm. We do another 2, then we firm it down. We do another 2, we firm it down. Then we come up to the top, we firm it all down naturally, and we build what's called a tree well, and that's just we take soil and we just kind of build a sand castle right around the root ball. And that tells you where to water. We're not adding fertilizer. You will have noticed that. We did not discuss fertilizer at all. We don't want it at this time of year. It is not beneficial. I've seen things where people have used a time-release fertilizer too late into the season, or a fertilizing stake, and we get a gorgeous, gorgeous late fall, beautiful sunny summer days. It works for us. We love it. Well, that fertilizer starts breaking down and the tree starts drinking it, and the tree's like, hey presto, I got fertilizer, I'm going to put out new growth. And the tree is putting out new growth at the end of September and October. You know what happens after that week? We get a frost. All those tips have burnt. The tree is now shocked, it's damaged, so no fertilizer. I don't want to see any fertilizer added to this. What you can add, if you want to give it a bit of protection, it's brand new, you're worried about the frost, you want to make sure it's retaining moisture because you are going to water it every single day for 2 weeks. You are going to fill up that tree well, and we'll show you how to build one tomorrow. Fill it up, let it percolate down, the next day you fill it. What you can do is go across the top of your hole, and like we said, we know our root ball is only 5, okay? But we're going to go the full distance, and we're going to cover it with a layer of mulch, 2 to 3 inches of mulch. That's going to protect any roots that are on the surface. It's going to protect them from the frost. If we do get a late bloom of sunshine into the autumn, it's going to protect them from getting burnt. It's going to hold the moisture in. So we can put mulch down. Not essential, but you can. Late plantings often call for it. But no fertilizer, and you're going to keep that water up. Like I've talked about all along yesterday when we discussed the transition of what trees need through the seasons. You'll remember every single one I said, early spring, late spring, summer, autumn, the tree needs water. Okay, your tree needs water, it's that simple, and especially a new planting. You want to make sure those roots don't dry out, you want to make sure your tips don't dry out, so you're going to water it in, and you're going to water it in deeply, and that's it. And that's it, and there's loads of time left to plant, and it's better, do you know why? Because one, it's better for me, because it's not plus 30 and I'm planting a tree. The tree's going to get less shock, because remember when we talked about lifting a plant out and sunlight hitting the roots directly, how bad that was? That's not going to happen. So it's actually a really great time of year. Then next spring, if you remember what we talked about yesterday about what's happening in the spring, this tree's already there. It's already actively growing. It's going through all of that. You're not putting it in the ground and shocking it. We've dealt with all of that. So next year, you get to just enjoy it, especially if it's a fruit tree or a fruit shrub. So that wraps us up. Again, I could have talked. You got any questions, comments, let us know. Shoot us a message. We will answer it on Hawaiian Shirt Fridays. That format isn't changing. And, perfect timing. We'll see you guys tomorrow when we're live on location planting a tree. Be safe, everybody. Bye.